Hello friends, it's me, Mr. Wilson, and we are working on Chapter 9, Lesson 2. We're skipping Lesson 1 basically because you have the wrong first page, and it's the same thing as Lesson 2, only it's more hands-on, and since we don't have materials at home, we are just going straight to Lesson 2. So in your Unit 1 book, which it'll say Volume 1 on it, we're back in Chapter 9, and we're on page 507 to 512. So you need to rip out those pages. And we are going to learn about the distributive property, which we learned about in multiplication back in the first half of the year. So we're revisiting and learning some new things to go along with those strategies we already learned. So hopefully this will be nice and easy review for you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the distributive property allows you to decompose one factor. Then you can use the smaller known facts to find the products. So instead of multiplying by 12, you could split that 12 up into 10 and a 2, because we know our 10s and 2s are easier than our 12s. So let's go ahead and look at our problem number 1. So it says Henry's hardware store sells wrench sets. Each set holds 8 wrenches. How many wrenches are there in 6 sets? So, first of all, we need to find 8 times 6. Now, a lot of us could do this without decomposing them, but we're learning decomposing to help us in the long run when we get to bigger numbers, okay? So, we're decomposing one factor, and one way we're going to decompose is to decompose that 6 into a 5 plus 1. So, they've taken our array here, and instead of it being 8 times 6, we're leaving the 8 alone, and we're splitting it into 5 and 1. So we have 5 rows, 5 columns, and 1 column. So it's still 8 times 6, but the 6 is split up. So we know 8 times 5, because that's what we have here now, 8 times 5 is 40. So 8 times 1 is what? 8, you are correct. So then we add them together. 40 plus 8 is 48. So we know that 8 times 6 is 48. So there are 48 wrenches in the 6 sets. Okay. So that's decomposing. Your regular, you would just do 8 times 6, which is 48. Okay. So you kind of lose some steps, but it's easier to do the decomposed way if you don't know your 6s or your 8s yet, okay? So feel free to turn the page, and by feel free, I mean do it. We are on example number 2. So it says, Karina, hey girl, it's spelled like you, but we know it's you. Karina's dad used 7 boards to build a picnic table. How many nails were used if each board needed 7 nails? So we're trying to find 7 times 7, because that's our multiplication, 7 boards, 7 nails. And then we're decomposing one of the factors, and since they're both 7, this one, it doesn't matter. But normally you decompose the one where you can make the facts easier. So the 7 this time goes into a 5 and a 2, because 5 plus 2 is 7, okay? So you're automatically going to have 7 times something plus 7 times something else when we have 7 times 7. You leave 1 7 in both parentheses, and then you need the decomposed number as the other numbers. So we have 7 times 5, and then 7 times our other number is 2. Okay, so now that we've decomposed them and written them in our parentheses problem, we know, bless you, now we need to multiply. So 7 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And 7 times 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so we multiplied, now we have to add. So I'm going to stack and add on the side, 35 plus 14. 5 plus 4 is 9. 3 plus 1 is 4. So 49. So Karina and her dad used blank nails altogether. They used 49 nails. Okay. So now we're going to do some guided practice with these. So we have 8 times 3 equals, and then we're using the distributive property. So 3 is our small number, so we're going to keep 3 in both of our problems. But here, we're going to change our 8, and some of you might want to do 4s, like 4 plus 4 is 8. But that might still be tricky for some people, 4 times 3 and 4 times 3. So why don't we do 5 and 3, okay? Because 5 plus 3 is 8. So 5 times 3, 5, 10, 15. And then we have 3, 6, 9. So 15 plus 9. 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 24. Now, say you didn't want to do 5 and 3. You could still do 4 and 4, and you should get the same number. So I'm going to do that up here as an example. So 4 times 3 plus 4 times 3. And 4 times 3 is 12, plus 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. So we still get the same answer. So honestly, it doesn't matter which way you do it. It just matters what your confidence is. Okay, you could have done 6 and 2. You could have done 1 and 7. Whatever makes it easiest for you to multiply. Okay, but 5s are pretty easy and 3s are pretty easy. So we have 8 times 8. So we're going to keep one of our 8s. And we're going to split up our other 8 by going 5 and 3 again. Okay, so 5 times 8, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then 3 times 8, you can either add up 8 3 times or do 3 8 times. I mean, count by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. And now we need to add them together. So 40 plus 24. 4 plus 0 is 4. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing down here. I honestly haven't even looked. Bad teacher. And then 4 plus 2 is 6. So 8 times 8 is 64. Okay. So as we move on through this lesson, obviously you know independent practice page you're going to do by yourself. Your parents can help if needed. But you're going to use the distributive property. So I'm going to show you how to set up each problem, and then you're going to fill in the blanks. Okay. So you're going to have a parentheses, and you're going to have a number times another number, close parentheses, plus parentheses, number times another number, parentheses, equals. Okay. So then you multiply those, and you get an answer. Multiply those, you get another answer. Then you add those to get your final answer, which you're going to write up here. Okay. So I'm going to do number 3 as an example, and then you set up each one of those just like this one. So 4 times 6, I'm going to keep 4. And 6, I'm going to go to 1 and 5. Because 1 plus 5 is 6. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I wrote 24. So 4 plus 20. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 0 plus 2 is 2. So 24. So 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, then I would go over to number 4, and I would write it the same way. Okay, and then I would write the answer up there. So you do that for the rest of these on page 509. Oh man, I hope you saw me do that. Oh, why does that happen to me? So this is how you should be setting them up. Just imagine that was over here before I filled it in. Okay? always leave your smaller number. Note to self, always leave your smaller number. Okay, then when you flip that over, you may do that side if you want, but it's optional. And then homework, I would really love for you guys to try, but it is optional as well, okay? So once you're done with your pages today, you're gonna get on IXL and you're gonna work through N6 and N7, okay? They are all related to today's lesson. So once you complete those, you can work on other IXL skills, or you can get back on Word or Lit Pro. But you guys are doing awesome work. I am so excited with how well you guys are doing with these subjects being taught online. And remember, if you have any questions, let me know on Remind, Facebook, or email. I will see you in our next math video. Bye.